Hey, it's #1 best-selling author and motivational speaker, Equalman. Welcome to today's 7 Super Tips. This is the show where we do the inverse of what we're normally doing. We're going to highlight other speakers and other thought leaders out there. Either I've met them or they've inspired me in my career. And today we're talking all about Steve Harvey. One thing I love about Steve Harvey is he doesn't run from his mistakes. He embraces them. He's all about the concept of being flawsome. We all remember the Miss Universe pageant where he handed the award to Miss Columbia when actually she was the second place vote getter. And so he learned from his mistakes. He was doing so many shows and so much outreach. He was just busy, busy, busy. He was bound to make a mistake. So he took that as a learning lesson and put systems and people in place to make it so his schedule wasn't as crazy. So without further ado, here's 7 super little and big shot tips from Steve Harvey.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you to put all your stuff back on your desk, don't do that, man. Don't do that. When they tell you you're not funny, you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless. When they tell you that you overexposed, be relentless.
Jennifer says, life is what happens when you're busy making plans. Should my plan be solid or flexible once I'm clear on what I want?
Well, it's a combination of both, but you got to get tunnel vision to reach your goal. You have to put blinders on and say, I'm laser beam focused on this. But know this, the road to success is always under construction. So just knowing when you strike out on your goal, you're going to have to get ready for flexibility because it's going to be detours, pitfalls, stop signs, men working, delays, detours going around. That has to be expected.
And failure means what?
Failure means you've now learned another valuable lesson that pushes you one step closer to success.
It means go in another direction. It means you have to go in another direction.
Failure is not the end all.
No.
People keep getting buried under failure. I bet you that you have failed more times than anyone in this room.
Absolutely.
I promise you have. I'm willing to bet that I have failed more times than anyone in this room because I have attempted so many things that you have no idea what I've attempted and failed at. But I don't let the failures define me.
It's God pointing you in another direction.
And it's clear about that. And you've got to be willing to go with that bend because that bend in the road is the only way. Success is not a straight line.
It is not.
It's crooked. It's down in a valley. It's back up over a mountain. My father came home, she said, Slick, which was my daddy's nickname, your boy been up at the school being a smart aleck. Now, I already know I'm gonna get a whipping for this. She said, tell him what you wrote on your paper. And I said, I wanna be on TV. And my father said, well, what's wrong with that? And she said, well, he being a smart aleck and putting something like that that's unbelievable on the paper. So my father said, Bill, how come the boy can't put on the paper he wanna be on TV? So they were starting to get into an argument, so I got sent to my room, which I knew what that meant. That means go in your room, get ready, we're gonna get this whooping, right? So I go in my room and after having a discussion, my father came in the room. He said, all right, this is what I want you to do. What does she want you to put on your paper? I said, I don't know, Daddy, like a basketball player, what all the rest of the kids wrote. He said, well, put that on the paper. Take that to school tomorrow and give it to her. Take your paper and put it in your drawer. Every morning when you get up, read your paper. And every night before you go to bed, read your paper. That's your paper. What he told me was a principle of success, that if you write it down and envision it, anything you see in your mind, you can hold in your hand. He knew that. And so he gave that to me. After that, every year when the teacher was living, I used to send her a TV for Christmas. because I wanted her to see me. She saw me one year, and she said, boy, you send me all these TV from wherever you are, and you don't understand. I got too many TV. I have to get these TVs away sometime. I know, it's all right though. And I kept that paper. And that little boy with the stuttering problem is on TV 7 days a week. Yeah, I'm on TV. All the time. You dig? The hustle, man. Somebody sent me a wonderful sign one day. It was like a sign that goes in front of a house that's for sale. It says, the dream is free, the hustle is sold separate. And that's so true, man. You never, see, you can never give up. You don't ever know where God is just waiting on you to pass the test. But you have to stay with something and go through the test to get to the end. See, you can't give, if you quit, there's no way you'll ever know. You have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even if you don't know the way. It's not your job to know the way. It's just your job to believe. That's where people mess up as people. You try to figure it out. Show me the scripture that tells you to figure it out. Where is that scripture at? There's no scripture that tells you to figure it out. It tells you to ask and believe. That's what you got to do. Ask God for something and then believe in it. Now, if you got faith without works is dead, you got to be willing to hustle. Because the hustle sold separately now. The dream free, you can dream all day long, but the hustle sold separately. God wants all of us to do the gift that he put in us. Now your gift might be attached to a job. Some of y'all should have been and quit your job and tried your business idea. But now I got these bills, I can't quit. Tell you what, if you don't quit, if you do not quit and go fulfill your dream, you ain't ever gonna be happy. It ain't no way, because you ain't living in your dream. You got to do it. Just take the leap of faith. What you waiting on? God big, God hold you up. You're going to a couple cuts and tears on you on the way once you jump. Because when you jump, just know this right away, the parachute not going to open right away. When you jump, you're going to hit the rock, edges of the rock and all that. But after a while, it opens. But it ain't going to open if you don't jump. Now, you can stay safe. You can stand on the cliff, watch everybody soaring by, and never jump. Keep that parachute on your back, tucked in the pack. Be nice and safe. Don't jump. But you're going to watch a lot of people soaring by with their parachute open. Until you jump, you will never have the life that God wants you to have. If you ain't going to jump, man, you got to jump. Just jump. Let's go.
Wanted to ask you, how do you overcome the fears and doubts?
I mean, look, the fears and doubts are a part of it. Can I be honest with you? Everything I've ever done started with a fear. My walking out on stage, that starts with the fear. When Oprah came and got me for this life class, I told her, I said, boy, this is like a stand-up appearance for me. I'm back there sweating. I don't want to talk to nobody. I have to overcome fear all the time. When I wrote my book, I was afraid. When they told me we wanted you to be a game show host, I'd never done that. I was afraid. When they said, we want you to do a talk show, I was afraid. I have to overcome fear all the time. But the best way for me to overcome fear is the dream has to be bigger than the fear. That's the only way you turn around and run at it. I just want something so great. I aim for stuff so big that the dream is bigger than the fear. Look at it like this, man. If you don't ever go for this, would it be better for you to face the fear or just deal with the fact that you just never gave it a shot?
Oh, face it, definitely.
See, that's what the dream. And I saw you with your tie on. I know that makeup mirror. That's backstage somewhere in a dressing room. Somebody's hiring guys like you. There's no such thing as I'm 57. If I went back out there, I'd get hired tomorrow as a stand-up. If you're funny, there's a marketplace for you. Now, look, you got to
start where you are, right?
Just
start where you are.
You don't worry, man. Where you at? Now, don't stop paying the house note and stuff.
Okay, so let's go through it. You have to know your gift. Do you think you're gifted at this?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay. And then you have to be clear about your vision.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then surround yourself with other dreamers. Let's talk about that.
You know, if you don't surround yourself with other dreamers, here's what I know. If 9 of your friends are broke, you're going to be the 10th one. That's it. If 7 of your friends smoke, you're going to be number 8. If you stay with that circle of friends, you've got to surround yourself with like-minded people. See, stop telling your big dreams to small-minded people. Take yourself, look, you're talking to me. You're 52, I'm 57. I'm a stand-up comedian, been one for 30 years. It's a natural thing for me. You know, I would talk to people who are in the business, talk to people who are doing it. Don't let your age define you. I was with a friend who went to the hospital one day and asked me to go with him. His grandmother was dying. He said, "Hey, Harv, you know you good with this kind of stuff, just go with me, man." And I was just standing behind him, just sort of holding him up, man. Come on, man, just stay on your feet. He kept calling, my dear, I love you. And she said, "Baby, I'm not gonna make it. I'm finna go home. But I called you down here because I want to ask you something." She said, "Do you know your great-grandfather's name?" He said, "No, my dear, I don't." She said, "You know why?" She said, "Because he didn't leave you nothing." She said, "When I die, I want you to go away from here, and I want you to live your life so that your children's grandchildren will know your name. And the only way for them to know who you are is you got to leave them something." That day, he didn't get the message, but I heard it though. I heard it. And when I heard that, it changed me. And it changed me to the point where I said, wow, I'm gonna start living my life so that my grandkids' kids know my name, then I've accomplished the deal. I've discovered then that the 2 most important days in my life are the day you're born and the day you find out why.
Ah, that's so important.
Those 2 days
Yeah.
are phenomenal days.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting because in the book you say there's your talent, but then there's your gift. And until you discover what your gift is, you are really sort of like aimlessly going through life. You're not really on purpose.
No, see, your talent, you can be a good accountant. You can be a good lawyer. That could be your talent.
Yeah.
But your gift is something. See, your talent will allow you to have a wonderful career. But this is what I've learned. Your career is what you paid for. Your calling is what you made for. Your calling is tied directly to your gift.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
So what is your gift? Let's help people distinguish between the 2.
Okay. My talent is I'm funny. That's my talent. But it's also closely tied to my gift. Now, it took me a minute to learn. I'm gifted at humor. I can make anything funny. But I've learned that my actual gift is I can take information, transpose it immediately, and it comes out into humor. But I can take information, transpose it immediately, and come out in motivation. I can take information, transpose it immediately, and it comes out in inspiration. I can take information, transpose it immediately, and it come out in uplift. So my real gift, I thought it was just funny. But God didn't make me this just to be funny. He made me this for a calling, for a purpose, that he needed to make me famous, to get me known enough so I could sit here with a person like Oprah Winfrey and have no shame in telling everybody it's him. Have no shame in saying, this is how it's done.
That's it for today's episode of the 7 Super Tips. Reminder that if you want to get this every week, we do a 7 Super Tips every week. Just subscribe below. And then also in the comments, let us know who we should do next. Who is on your bucket list for us to do a 7 Super Tips with? This is Equalman signing off for today's 7 Super Tips, reminding all of us, in the meantime, it's not what we take from the world, it's what we leave behind. This is Equalman, wrapping, sorry to say Equalman, this is wrapping things up. Do I even say Equalman?
I think so.
Okay. I used to live over here, that thing's brutal. It's gonna be a while. It's real though, it's authentic. This is Equalman signing off for today's 7 Super Tips. And remember, in the meantime, it's not... Good to know the train's here. It's always something, man.